Hey everyone, what's up with you? It's your girl T.U.O. And we're back with another, I was gonna say clapback. Reality check. Speaking of clapback, I need to check on that check on that case and see if there's any updates since it's a new year. But anyways, it's your girl T.U.O. I'm here with another reality check. We're gonna discuss Real Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine, Love and Marriage in Huntsville. So let's get into it. Uh, Real Housewives of Potomac. Child, we leave off with Angel being accused of being evicted. Okay, they just scurried away from that discussion. What was said was that is my background blurry or something? I guess. So what was said was, and my pimple on my nose that's as big as my nose ring. But what was said was because the rental agreement was terminated because it came to an end that she was evicted, and there's a difference between a time frame of a rental agreement and being evicted. Okay, meaning you didn't make a payment. To me, if I was Angel, I would definitely sue Giselle because she's the one that's constantly discussing it. But if she would like to be how you say lapsed in with her homegirl Ashley, I would sue Ashley ass too for what is it? Is it civil? No, I'm thinking libel. What is it called? Because it's not is it libel, which is writing. Defamation, basically. I would sue her for defamation, slander against my character, right? I would definitely sue her for those. Boy, you could get ran over. And so I would sue her for that, right? And so Giselle is constantly saying that she was evicted and Ashley is on the bandwagon with it. And so what happened was, I'm gonna just talk about the highlights. I don't really remember. They finally got up off of Stacy this episode, but not really. It was the Monique event, right? So Monique had everybody write some things about how they felt about themselves, and then in each tab they wrote something about the other girl. And so they did kind of get on Stacey. It feels like I can't pick on this person because if I pick on the popular girl, then I'll get kicked out the group. That's what it's given to me. Now, because I don't remember Monique. I have to watch the episode again, but I don't remember Monique saying, let's see what Giselle said about herself and what other people said about Giselle, right? Because what it's really given, if nobody put it, is that she ain't got no storyline. I think somebody did say that, but she ain't got nothing to give, so she needs to go away. But definitely a mean girl. But they talk about Stacey. Stacey thinks very highly of herself, of course. And other people are, I think they said, Giselle, what did you say about Stacey? And she said, I ain't got nothing for her. Which is like you're giving so much energy to dislike Stacey for no reason. She hasn't personally did anything to you for you not to like her, which tells me you just ain't got nothing. You might as well pick on the weakest link is what it's given. So I just say, flip Giselle. I'm gonna keep it clean and keep it cute. So then I think they kind of got into like a little heated discussion because Angel got on somebody's head. I think it was Ashley. She was like, Ashley, you were talking on that mess. No. Angel said some things about herself, and Ashley said, I think that she's a catfish, which again, you're bandwagoning on the premise of Giselle's issue or her joke, her slight against Angel. And it's like, come up with your own jokes, come up with your own plights, right? So Angel shut it down right there. She said, "Don't call me catfish no more." I said, girl, she done with that word catfish yet. She don't want to see a catfish meal. She don't want to see nothing about no catfish. Hush it up with the catfish. Okay. And so I just want to get out this freeway if we could. And see, this is why I go to the front and I don't wait for y'all, because I ain't got time to get stuck on no freeway. And I'm gonna just be real with you. My light is on. But I'm gonna just not panic and keep it pushing. So she like, don't ever say catfish again. We not doing that no more, blah, 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 blah. And Ashley acting all oblivious. What do you mean? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm just saying, that's what everybody's thinking, and all this stuff. And it's like, no, we're not playing those games anymore. So Angel says, okay, so if you want to play them games, guess what? You're not invited out to the trip. And then Giselle said, oh, well, my girl ain't going. I ain't going. I was like, girl, you might as well not even let these girls go, because what they giving? They ain't giving nothing. The only thing that Giselle is giving is she the drama. She starts stuff. If that's what you want on your trip, go ahead. Because you could have shown how is the word lucrative, how productive, how progressive the group is without these group of women, which in the next stage of the contract, you can say, hey, I think it will be vital for them to be removed off the show. That's playing chess, not checkers. You have that discussion of, hey, I think these girls are not offering anything to the show. As you can see, we did better when they wasn't on the show. I think it will be, important for them to get off. You paying them for nothing. You could have showed that, but that's just me. I understand people don't want to mess up other people's check. I get it. But me, I don't give a damn. Okay? I don't give a damn. But especially if you're coming from me, you attacking me for no reason. So then they have a discussion. I think Monique did a wonderful job by mediating and saying, hey, how can we resolve this? So that there's no issues. And Angel's like, well, look, you're not going to sit up there and talk about me and think you're going to come to my house and my sanctuary. And so Ashley apologized, which was, like I said, Ashley be showing that white woman side of her where she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And like condescending. It's what it is. It's condescending. She really don't mean she's sorry because she's going to do it again. And so Angel accepted it. She said, okay, cool. But what I liked was Angel came through when they got there to her Colorado. She came through with a big dump truck, right? And she put everybody else in the back. She said, Stacy, she basically was like, I see everybody's attacking you. And of course, this is strategy. They all like, let's how you say, let me get my friend groups together, people that's gonna be on my side, and whatever, right? We're gonna get whoever gonna be on my side, and because I know that some people are not gonna be on my side, right? And so she gets her friend groups together. I'm gonna try to turn off my camera. Turn off my camera. So she tried to get her friend group together and make sure that people are on her side, because when she snaps, they'll be like, yeah, she got a reason to snap, because y'all been doing this and that, whatever to her. And so I see it, right? And so they get to, Angel tells the girls like, just don't trip. Guess what? Don't trip. You gonna be good. I thought she was saying Stacy and Wendy was going to go to her house, but then I don't know what happened when she got to the house. And so I guess she was saying like they was good. They got the best room, that she got them covered at the house. So they get to the house. They try to figure out what's going on. Is that Angel's house? And Angel's like, no, this is not my house. But don't trip, because let's just eat and then I'll show you your room. Everybody can't be here because of the small space. Like, it's not enough room. What it was, once you looked, it was enough room, but for how demanding the girls are, that their expectation, they were not willing to share a room for 4 people. Like the Giselle and Ashley room, which basically was bunk beds and a double bed. Like, they could have had the 2 girls in that room, but Giselle was already mad. And she was like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. Giselle like, I'm not gonna do it. Ashley got a problem, ib and out, aches and shit. And it was just like, the nerve of you to expect anything from this girl after you drug her through the mud, talked about her, talking about she a catfish, she this, she that, and all this stuff. You really expected, oops, not it. You really expected for her to give you the best room? Does that make sense to you? You just talked about, you just said she got evicted. You think, and I was just like, the nerve, it's just like, what? You think it's acceptable to talk about people and then get the best of the best from them? Like, I can't wait till Stacy does a trip. I hope she does a trip one day. And really, I know that, because I know how I am. She gonna try to take the high road. Stacy gonna try to take the high road. But if I was Stacy, I would definitely give their asses the bunk bed. Like, from moving forward, whoever that they be talking about disrespecting, if y'all got a trip, y'all need to get them 2 hoes. Excuse me. Y'all need to get them 2 ladies, them old ladies, the bunk bedrooms, okay? Because they got the game twisted to think that they deserve anything. To think that they deserve anything. You get what you deserve. How you treat people, right? So I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm laughing. I'm cackling. Ashley, no. Stacy got the best room. Wendy got the best room. What's her name? Tia, I think she got an okay room or something. Like, everybody got a good room except Giselle and Ashley. And I think Tia and Jazzy was going to what's her name's house, to Angel's house. That's what it was. So somebody wasn't that they were the only ones that really had a messed up room, that from what I saw. And I agree with it. Now, I think, okay, it went off. I think you can't be mad. Never mind. You can't be mad at Angel for responding to your disrespect. And what they said was, oh, that was a little cute shade. And she was like, yeah, it was. And I agree. You deserve this shade that you're going to get, and you keep on playing. And they still talking mess. At the end of it, after they got their bump room, they still talking mess about, oh, she can't even bring us to her house. Her house is probably raggedy. She probably homeless, living in a tent. I'm just playing. She didn't say all that. But they was basically saying, you know, you get mad at us because we said you catfished. We said you got evicted. I still feel like you got evicted. I think you only came out there just for the show. Just for that show. And it's like, even if she did come out there for the show, I've seen plenty of people who have done that. I can't really think off the top of my head. I think y'all girl Malaysia, she stayed in Atlanta and she used to come to LA for the show. That's y'all girl. Okay? She used, and Brandy currently stays in Texas, but comes to LA to get on the show. So what is this whole thing about, oh, you come to Potomac just to be on the show? So what? If she offers something to the show, so what if she comes for a season? And your point is, you don't even, from what it's being said, is y'all don't even stay in Potomac. Like, I think what was said was she the only one who really stay in Potomac, or was it Karen and that other girl, Naneka? Okay, y'all don't even really stay in Potomac like that. So if you want to be technical, you want to be like, yeah, I said it already. Technical, like, girl, please miss me with that BS. So what? I just can't wait till she start cussing y'all out, because that's what y'all asking for. You asking to be cussed out for no reason, girl. Just go on about your business. Live your life. So she said, y'all need to let it be known right now what the problem is. What you heard. Because you ain't going to come to my house if you're going to keep on disrespecting me. Now that y'all here, y'all can get on the plane and get back on to Potomac, to your house. Because you ain't got, I'm telling you, Angel, if you would have just let them have a stay at home, they would have missed a check. And nobody else, I don't think Wendy would have said, oh, well, if Giselle's not going, I'm not going. I get that's probably what you feared. I don't think Monique would have said, oh, well, Giselle's not going, I'm going. They just became friends. Nobody was going to say, if Giselle and Ashley don't get to go, I'm not going either. I don't think that would have happened. Me personally. Hold on. All right, my bad. So she basically telling him, you better say what you gotta say right now. So I was saying, I know you feared that, but that wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. So anyways, um Married to Medicine, it really wasn't giving anything. It comes off the tail end of Toya cussing out Eugene, which, if that's how their relationship is, that's how their relationship is. Every relationship is not the same. Every relationship is not, I can't even think of that lady's name, the psychiatrist and her husband, and Steve, I think his name's Steve. Every relationship is not calm and peaceful and everything like that. Some people like it. Like and like how Heavenly said, I think Eugene likes it, and he has already said yes, he likes it. Okay, if he didn't like it, I think he would leave the relationship. He said what he don't like is everybody cackling in about, oh, ooh, you want to let her talk to you like that? That's what he don't like. He don't like people chiming in on his relationship, and he feel like, oh, um, it's a pissing contest basically. And so I think that's the issue in their relationship. Y'all need to mind your business, because it's been going on for several years since they've been married, okay? And Eugene ain't saying nothing about it. Now, I will say, Heavenly confirmed what Eugene had already said to Toy. I don't know how the editing went. I don't know if Eugene said it first and then Heavenly. I don't know if Heavenly said it first and then Eugene. Whatever the case is, they wasn't in the same room when it was said. Eugene said, can you please validate me, though? Can you acknowledge that I am doing good by you? I need some affirmation from you. And she said, yes, babe, I can do that, whatever. And then Heavenly turned around and was like, yeah, you need to uplift that man. Because she said, okay, Toya said, I hope you guys have a great Father's Day, and make sure you say Happy Father's Day to your dad and your husband. And Heavenly responded with some messy stuff and said, tell that to Eugene on camera. And she clarified, because you always down talking him in front of the group on camera, but you never uplift him on camera. And one thing for me is, I agree with Heavenly. I love me some Toya. Team Aries, right? But when you're right, you're right. And when you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm gonna let you know when you're wrong. I feel like the same way you can put out negativity, you should put out positivity. It should weigh itself out. And I think it was being brought out about that it's not weighing the same. It's more negativity than positivity, and Eugene needs affirmation. Now, I will say this too, Toya, that if you want to keep your man, you better start treating your man. Everything ain't about you. I know you making money, you need to make sure you taking care of him too, and that things are panning out for him too. And when I say that, because Eugene is looking good, girl. Eugene, no disrespect to you and your marriage. Eugene is looking good. He is getting smaller. He keeping his weight down and everything. He's looking amazing. So you can lose him in a heartbeat, boo boo. So one of these girls can come around and get him. I don't know why you parked right here anyways. I'll run you. Let me stop. It's only a week. It's only a week. So I'm just saying, Toya, get it together, low key, and never ever embarrass yourself or your family in front of your friends. Just be like, okay, cool, I'll talk to you later. Don't trip. I got you. I'll talk to you, because I think both of y'all was affected by the oohs and the ahs. And it was definitely childish, but you know your friend groups. That's your friend group. So if the oohs and the ahs is affecting you, then you definitely shouldn't be responding. You definitely shouldn't be responding. It should be, okay, boo, I'll talk to you later, and y'all have a private conversation, because that's what they all do. And I like the fact that Eugene said, y'all fake. That's what it is. And we don't put on like everybody else. We actually showing real relationship issues and how our relationship is. We don't sit up there and, okay, dear, how you guys be doing? And I said, oh, he talking to Jackie. He talking to Jackie and Curtis, okay? Ooh, okay. I said, ooh, come on now with it, Eugene. Come on with it. And so I agree, though. You don't have to put on, though, to not embarrass yourself, though, because that's kind of what y'all doing. Y'all embarrassing yourselves. Y'all over here arguing and screaming at each other. And, I don't necessarily think what Toya said was disrespectful. I think that it just put Eugene on the spot and made him feel a little embarrassed. That's what I personally think. That's what I personally think. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. And so that would be my advice to Toya. She ain't gonna take it. She gonna do whatever she gonna do, and Eugene is happy. So from a viewer though point of view, yeah, it wasn't cute to do all that. Who else is it? Love and Marriage Huntsville. Give me a second though, because I gotta move my car. Okay. So they doing. So um so I Love and Marriage Huntsville. Um Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm trying to think. Was it anything interesting? I Love and Marriage Huntsville. I never watched it when Funky Donnie was talking about it. I was like, I ain't married. I don't care about it. Whatever. But after a while, I think I watched the last season before this one, or probably the last season before this one. And I watched all of them, so it is a pretty good show. Um, Tisha and Miss Nell is into it. They have some type of conflict over Miss Nell telling her son Lance's business, and Tisha went back and told Destiny, and she got mad because she basically outed her son, and she told Destiny that Tisha needs to mind her own business and worry about her own husband cheating on her, or whatever the case was, which was not even the discussion. It just came out of nowhere. I don't agree with Miss Nell's response with the fact that she told the information and trying to act like, I don't know what y'all talking about. What you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. They had a winery. And so I think it was off the heels of that they were going back and forth in a discussion about basically Ms. Nell. They were supposed to bring stuff in a basket that represents who they are, and I believe, like, to let everybody know who, to get to know them. And Ms. Nell brought nothing. She offered nothing, brought nothing. Tisha brought a snake. Okay, she brought other things, but in deep down, it was a snake. And she said she felt like Miss Nell was a snake. And of course, you're going to get what you put out there. So I don't know what you thought the response was going to be when you call Miss Nell a snake, but you definitely got what you wanted. And so they basically agreed to disagree. I do think that Tisha has a real bad habit of putting her hands up and like gesturing like girl bye, and I feel like it was a little bit too far in the middle of the table where somebody will respond. Like, girl, if you don't stop putting your hands up, like, I think she needs to work on that. I also think she needs to, and I agree with Tisha when she says, why is it always me? I feel you. The best solution for it to not be you anymore is silence. To stay away from people that cause you to act a certain way. And I definitely agree they need to keep our husband's name. They need to keep Marcel's name out your mouth, right? Because it's a trigger for you. They have not brought any evidence to show that Marcel is engaged in any infidelity, not a woman, not nothing. They have this skit going on. They ain't brought no receipts though, no real receipts. So I do agree that it does affect you guys' relationship. So this episode, it was like, it was about, well, who is it? What's his name? Marcel building her office. We've been on this office for 2 or 3 seasons now. When you gonna finish? Like, how long does it take? And it's putting a strain on their relationship. I can see that. I don't want them to break up, but I also feel like Tisha's been very patient. He's doing a lot of other projects, and I think it's because he's a contractor. So his company is a contractor for other businesses. That stuff is personal / business, right? It can wait, is what it is. And so I think that Marcel is thinking, and they're both Libra, so he's thinking as a balance. You have to put one over the other. Both can't be at the same level. Like he can't. She said you can separate. You can use some of the workers at this site and have them work on my building. And it's like I need all the hands I can get because I have a contract with this person and I have to meet this deadline. If I don't meet this deadline, then I could be penalized for it or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I ain't in the business like that, but I'm just assuming it can be like that. So I just think just stop talking about it. Let him, if he gonna do it, he gonna do it. If not, he's not. It's no point in you constantly bugging him. Me personally, Tisha, if it was me, I would hire somebody else, child. I would like, let me get somebody else to do it then. If you ain't gonna do it, I'll get somebody else to do it. Shit. I hire Martell or some shit like that. Hire his friend or something. Because you know who does a good job. Like you in that business. And I know that can come off as disloyal, but at the same time, you're not doing what I want to do. And the other thing that I'm thinking about is that's why they say never mix business with pleasure, families and stuff. And if you're gonna do that, you need to have a contract. Like I said, there was a contract that Marceau has to meet right now. If you had created a contract with Marceau, excuse me, I think I said Marceau, but if you created a contract with Marceau, then he would have to meet that deadline because then he will be penalized. But you know, it just messes up a whole thing. I'm different. I could care less. Like you know, I would have in a contract, okay, you can request for an extension of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, one or two times. But after that, you need to meet that end deadline after that. If not, I don't know what the consequences will be. It will definitely be monetary. For every day that I lose money because I can't work in my office or whatever, you need to compensate me for that. And I get it puts a strain on marriages and stuff. But child, let's think about it. You have a career in real estate, I believe. That's what Tisha does. What's going to last longer? What's more lucrative? Marriage or a career base? You know, where you get money from? You get money from this real estate business. So, you know, and it shows how committed he is to you. Like it shows how much he cares about you. To me, I don't know, you know, he may feel differently, and I don't know, disrespect to Marcel. He's my favorite member on the cast member on the show. At the same time, reality is reality. What's more important to you? For me personally, my partner would be more important to me and pleasing them, but I understand what he's saying when he says this is where we get the money from, though. You know, I get that, but how long? And then after you finish this project, because it seemed like he had a project and then he got another project, and so he keep putting her stuff to the wayside or do a little bit and then put it to the wayside, and it's like, how much longer do you want her to wait? I think that's not right. I think that it's not respect at all. Finish her shit, her little bitty shit, and move on. She don't have to keep talking about this. I'm trying to think what else was there. So Destiny invites the girls on a trip, and and she's first in the car with Tisha and Kimmy. I want to call this girl Mimi so bad. Kimmy. And then there was an issue. Tisha said something about, you know, I ain't negative. I ain't bringing no negativity. Why? I think Destiny was trying to say, how about you apologize, Tisha? And Tisha got offensive and said, why I always gotta apologize? Why is it always me? And I feel it. But the simple answer is no, I'm not apologizing because I didn't do anything. You ain't got to sit because it comes off as very immature, Tisha. You come off like a child when you speak like, well, I always got to apologize. No, you just assert, I'm not apologizing. I don't need to apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't know it was a big secret. So I was being disrespected. She's constantly talking about my husband, and if anybody talks about Chris, then it would be a problem. So I ain't apologizing about nothing. When she ready to talk and apologize to me and acknowledge her disrespect to me, then we can talk. But until then, I ain't got nothing for her. I could be cordial, but I ain't got nothing for her. That's how you handle it. You don't let nobody guilt trip you into doing anything. And so was that was the wine thing, huh? Oh, I'm thinking about something else. Okay, let me think. What was it? Was there something else? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot what was it? Marriage in Huntsville. I'm trying to think. It was a building thing. Oh, and then it was Kimmy. So what it looked like is that they tried to focus on. I think they trying to venture off and see who gonna get like their own show and who's more interesting. Um, Miss Nell and Chris is not that interesting. Don't nobody want to see Miss Nell screaming and holler and banging on no table at her husband and her kids. I'm sorry. Kimmy and Maurice is very interesting because of their communication skills. Um, and the fact that Kimmy and Maurice is family with Marcel and Letitia. That's an automatic. So all four of them are entertaining together. Um, so they focused on Maurice, and Kimmy and Marcel and Tisha this episode. And Kimmy and Maurice is having issues with their sex life. Maurice is greedy as hell, talking about I can lay down longer than you can stand up. And it's like, what? Who are you talking to like that? Like, that's your wife. That's not a hooker. Like, I think that was so outrageous. And then the things that she been through, like, nobody ain't thinking about fucking all the time. And I've said that I need to stitch that. I need to take a video of that because she said exactly how I felt like a few weeks ago when I was on this panel. And I said, for women, sex is not the highest intimacy. It is not. That is the reward for you, but the reward for us is affection, reassurance. Yeah, slow it down. Reassurance, honesty, communication, what is it called? Affection, quality time, those things along the line, emotional awareness, patience, you know, those type of things are what women look for. So then, like she said, it's more intense when the sex comes, right? You ready to do it, you ready to get down to it because all those other things were filled up. That stuff is only 5 seconds. It's only momentary, and after you do it, you be like, damn, I don't even know why I did it. I don't know why I did because he didn't really deserve it. Because he go back, he roll over, he start acting a whole different way, getting all in his mood and stuff, and it's just like you only being this way just so you can get some, and that is not what we're looking for. and and at my little age, okay, I miss someone. I miss someone so much, which tells me I'm not over that, right? So I don't really want to venture out and look for something else. I don't want to carry another relationship into a relationship, right? But there's also someone who reached out to me personally. And it wasn't, first of all, hey, you, I'm not doing that. I used to do stuff just for some attention because I wanted somebody, wanted. And I'm just like, I really don't give a, I'll be by myself, right? So I said, I said, who is this? 'Cause I didn't know who he was. And he wanted to know how I was doing, but I felt like he wanted something. He started asking me about my job and everything. And I'm not anybody's personal or personal assistance to do anything for nigga. I get paid to do this stuff. So I was not even entertaining it. And I was just like, first of all, you're not coming correct. Like, usually beating around the bush to me, like, oh, well, still doing anything, you can look into this for me. I hope I didn't get kicked out. But anyways, you think you can look into this? Okay. 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 I'm back up. But and for me, he's like beating around the bush. Okay, the thing keeps coming online, offline. Excuse me, sorry. So I'll just turn it off. So if you're not gonna come direct and say this is what you need done, then I'ma just end the conversation. So when he asked me that, I just like, I ain't got nothing else to say to you. There ain't nothing else for us to talk about. And he ain't text me back, and I ain't texting back. I'm not kissing no behind. I'm not sending. So when women say we need more than just the bare minimum, like, I think bare minimum is over in 2026, boo boo, along with the pregnancies. Like, anybody coming out pregnant and they get left, that's on you, because the whole 2025 was an example for y'all. Was an example. Like, we're not, this is what you don't accept. This is what you're supposed to expect. And how you start a relationship is how it's going to continue, according to Contessa, as we can see. Okay, if you don't recognize those type of behavior traits, then that's on you. I don't really want to hear nobody being pregnant. I don't want to hear about nobody sitting up there, oh, he did me, he cheated, and no, girl, you saw, there were signs. Okay, have y'all saw that show, The Evil We Live With? Something like that. Evil Lives Here. That's what it's called. And they always put in there were signs, and you chose not to look at the signs, so that's on you. Okay, that's all I got. Let me see. Is there anything else? It really wasn't that interesting. I was glad to see that everybody went to therapy though. You know what? I didn't want to tell you something. Tisha and Marcel did the sex therapy, intimacy therapy, and I was so uncomfortable. I was like, and Marcel, he was like, you too heavy on my legs. I'm just like, I know that sex ain't good. He can't even hold you up like that, girl. Marcel, get them leg muscles up. Get them leg muscles, cause just like Eugene, Tisha can get somebody better, cause the girl got body. The girl got the body be bodying. Okay, so Marcel, don't think that you're the only man in the world. Tisha, don't be thinking just because he your college sweetheart and all that stuff that you can't find a big nigga to pick you up. Okay, you ain't gonna find love out in these streets, but you gonna find something to pick you up, hold you down. Okay, Tisha. So, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Tisha. Marcel, please get in the gym. You look good. You losing the weight. I know it fluctuates. I feel you, especially with stress and everything. But get your weight up, boo boo. Get your muscles up. Okay, pick that girl up. Pick her up. I was uncomfortable. I was like, oh no, this is some trash sex. And then he wouldn't kiss her. It was just a lot of red flags. You got Maurice over here. Wanting sex 17 times a day. Then you got Marcel. He don't seem really interested in his relationship. It's just uncomfortable. But that's what y'all like. All right, guys. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Please let me know what you guys found interesting in this week's episode. If I missed anything, if you agree or disagree with anything. And I'll catch you guys next week or so. Come through with a happy day. Probably a clapback because I need to follow up on that case and everything. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later. Bye.